Well, hello everyone. And even though it happens every summer, it nevertheless surprises me at just how bright and glaring the sun is at high noon as we approach summer. But like I say, that's just how it is here in Oklahoma. Strong sun and beautiful skies. But the reason I'm out here today is actually to shoot kind of a preface to the video that we are going to replay for you today based on so many requests you all had, especially new viewers, for how to age plastic pots to look like concrete or terracotta or just an antique patina. And so we're going to play that for you again. These are the same pots. I aged them and we shot this video 4 years ago. And as you can see, they're still going strong. In fact, they probably get better looking with time as they get dirtier, more aged, and just develop even more of a patina. And what do I have them filled with? Well, they are filled with, as I've mentioned in an earlier video, Alabama Sunrise Heucherella, which is really, really gorgeous. And then I love pots that are monochromatic, so I've got some of this Everillo Carex. Both of those are from the Southern Living Plant Collection. And then, I'm not sure the variety, but some kind of coleus here that kind of picks up on the purple shading in the Heucherella, and I think really is a nice, both complementary and contrasting element in these pots. And you can see that they're all repeated, going up and down my very old plant stand, accompanied by a few myrtle topiary that look to me like they need a prune. This is a great combo for shade to part shade. This area doesn't get a ton of light, but it gets enough so that the carex, the grass, and hopefully that coleus, I'm not sure if it's a sun or a shade coleus, I have a feeling it's more of a sun coleus, but that this area will get enough sun so that they will maintain their color and be happy. Sometimes Heuchera or Heucherella really struggles when it gets really hot here in Oklahoma. But look at these beautiful dainty blooms that they put out, which I just think are the icing on the cake. Not why they grow them. I grow them for their foliage, but boy, those sweet little bell flowers are so delicate and so dainty. And then here are the pots, and you can see that they are pretty mucked up. There's really no wrong way to do this, you guys. I think I have to watch the video again myself. I think I just used whatever paint and any kind of anything that would work that was in my garage, including just dirt that I also use with wet, dirty garden gloves to just kind of wipe down the sides of the pot and the exterior of the pot to give it some texture. These started out, I believe, to be in kind of a terracotta color. But again, you can do this with most any kind of plastic pot. Now, I do think that the pot itself, even if it's plastic, needs to be rather formidable. I mean, with some heft, not too thin, so that the sides will puncture easily. And that also are of a design that you like. And I like these because they are all exactly the same, running up and down the plant stand. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Share any comments in the comment box below and give us a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe if you're not already. And of course, share with others if you think they might want to know about this budget-friendly technique. You guys have a great Monday.
Hey guys, I'm having so much fun today. I am doing what I commonly refer to in a very scientific way as mucking up pots, and that's basically, I am just taking inexpensive pots made out of whatever, some kind of lightweight material, and I'm aging them to look old. That way I can easily move them around. They're not subject to cracking during the winter, but I want them to fit in. I want them to have a certain kind of patina that matches the rest of my other pots that look aged and that kind of fit the old English garden vibe of my garden. So I am doing it just by taking remnants of little samples of spray cans of whatever kind of paint I have lying around, and I'm just mixing them together until I get the kind of effect that I want. There is no rhyme or reason for anything that I'm doing. I just keep applying layers of paint until I get an effect that pleases me. I then also kind of mix in a little bit of dirt because I want them to look old. I want them to look as if they've been around forever. And mostly, I just don't want them to look new and pristine. So all I have done is just take an old coffee can, an old plastic coffee can, anything would work. And you can see, I think you can see, that I have just put remnants and little dollops of all of these different colors of paints. Some of these were paint samples I just picked up for like 50 cents at the hardware store. And I'm just kind of mixing them together so that there'll be a depth and different varying degrees of green. That will make it look as if it's kind of aged in a mossy way over time. And I'll also add a little bit of kind of a creamy color because that makes it look like concrete. I mean, you can see I'm really very careful with my ratios, aren't I? So I'm just mixing these together. You can tell that probably most of the cooking I do is without a recipe. So then I'm just taking an old sponge, and most of the time I will use it on the gritty side because I don't want this to look really perfect. I'm just kind of modeling it and making sure that it falls into the cracks and crevices. This container actually is kind of rough on the outside. If your container is too smooth, you might want to take some sandpaper to it and roughen it up a little bit. And you can see, I think you can see, all of the different gradations and variants in color. And that's what makes it kind of begin to look as if it's a real container. Any kind of dirt, this is a little ollie olive tree, any kind of dirt that's on the pot, I just let stay there. Sometimes I might even give it a little undercoat to make it look dirty of some black spray paint. And I can then kind of work that in and see how it gives it very much. And actually, I look at this, you guys, it's not even black. This is like a charcoal paint that I just had kind of lying around. But it immediately ages it and makes it look as if it's not plastic. So, Stuart, tell me, how long has this taken me so far to do this? Stuart is 5 minutes? Okay, so 5 minutes so far to an old looking container. I like this because it doesn't require any planning. All I do is just get the remnants of any kind of paint. It doesn't matter really whether it's acrylic, whether it's latex, whether it's old paint, even if it's starting to harden, I don't care. I am just applying it in a haphazard way. This dabbing gives it a texture that makes it look a little bit more like concrete. You can see on this side, where there's a little bit of black. You can see how that makes it look, gives it some depth. Makes it look kind of old. I want to be careful not to spray the plant. And I'll just rub that in to just make it look old. You'll notice if you take a little bit of white and you kind of pat it on, that makes it look like it's kind of cracked a little bit over time. It's not Michelangelo, but you know what? It works for me in the garden. This then will fit in and match most of my other pots that I have out there, and most of which are concrete or real terracotta. I won't have to worry about bringing this one in the wintertime, with the exception, of course, that I have a plant in it that's not cold hardy, so I guess I will have to bring it in. Now, I think what I'm going to do, as you can see, I'm extremely methodical about this. The more imperfect you are, the better. The other thing is, if you want your kids to help, this is a perfect job for them. I used to let my boys help when they were little. I did this before on some lightweight urns. Some of you may have seen it. They started out more of a gray color than this terracotta. And they look like they're stone. This one's going to look like it's kind of a combination of both. For a while, it was really popular to sponge paint your walls inside. I don't know if that's still a popular thing or not, but this is kind of a version of that. I have put something down to protect my table. I did go that far. And that's about it, you guys. I want to leave some of that terracotta showing. Because that gives it kind of a distressed look. And then as a final touch, what I'll probably do is take some muddy water. Excuse me, let me go get some muddy water. Which basically just means I get some mud and water, and then I just rub that across the surface, which gives it this great nubbiness, ages it even more, browns it up a little bit. And the other thing that does is there are probably some remnants of moss and pollen, maybe some microorganisms in there that will then grow on the pot and encourage more growth of lichens and other natural things. So there you guys go. Looks pretty good. I'll do the other one now.